This AI agent that you're seeing on screen literally scrapes Google Maps within minutes and sends you a spreadsheet with all the results. All you have to do is tell it what to scrape and then just wait for the magic to happen. So it starts off by saying, "Hi there, what are we scraping today?" So let's say we're going to scrape all the dental clinics. After that, it asks you for the city and country. Okay, so let me say I'd like to scrape it for Jaipur, which is in India. After that, it asks me how many results you want to scrape, basically how many dental clinics you want to scrape. So let me say 20. Lastly, it's asking if I want to put any filters like language, rating, website only, maximum reviews, or anything like that. So let's say no. If you want, you can also tell it that only give me the dental clinics that have a rating of above 3.5, for example. Then it confirms whatever you have said. So we're searching for dental clinics, which are in Jaipur, India, and the maximum search limit is 20. So let's say yes, proceed. And now it's going to actually scrape Google Maps and send us a full spreadsheet with all the 20 results. Okay, so it says the data has been successfully scraped. You can access the results here. And then it's giving me a link to a Google Sheet. So let me click on it. Okay, so as you can see, here is the scraped data. It literally took less than 2 minutes to give me the data. We have a total of 21 rows here. The first row is the heading. So obviously we've got 20 results. So we have the title, we have the category, we have the address. We also have the phone number. We have their review count. We have their working hours, the different types of payments they accept, the link to their Google Maps, the search page URL, and the image URL. If you use some third-party scraper as well, firstly, it takes time. You have to go there and set up things. And then it also costs a lot of money. This one is very, very cost-effective. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can build this extremely powerful AI agent from the start to the very end. Trust me, it's a very valuable skill. Once you understand how to scrape platforms, you can not only scrape Google Maps, but the other platforms, the other websites out there. So if you're ready, let's get started and let's build this amazing AI agent. So hello everybody, my name is Yashica Jain and I'm the founder of Automate.ai. Automate.ai is an AI automation agency that integrates AI into businesses. I have been in this space for a little over 2 years now, and I've got the chance to work with some amazing companies and automating their processes. So if you're interested in automating your business with AI, or if you have any specific AI automation projects in mind, then don't forget to check out our website. The link is in the description below. Apart from that, I'm also an AI consultant. So if anyone's interested in a one-on-one call with me, then the link to my consultation calendar is in the description below. And yes, I love sharing what I build and what I've learned so far. So that's why I have this YouTube channel where I keep on putting videos about the new AI automation projects. So if you're interested, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The link to my LinkedIn account as well as Twitter is also in the description. So don't forget to follow me there as well for some exclusive content. So that's it about me. Now we can get into building the AI agent. So we will be creating this entire AI agent without coding, and in order to do that, we're going to be using a platform called n8n. If you're not aware of n8n, it's a no-code automation platform which allows you to build these amazing AI agents. So if you already have an account, great, log in. If you don't, then use the link in the description to create an account with them and you will get a 14 days free trial. Once you've created your account or once you've logged in, you will land somewhere here, and in order to create the AI agent, all you have to do is click on this orange button that says Create Workflow. Now we have a blank canvas in front of us and we can start building. So when we click on this plus-like icon, it asks us what triggers this workflow, basically what starts this workflow. And in this case, since it is a chat agent, it's going to be on chat message. So every time you put a message in the chat, it starts the automation. We're going to leave it as is for now and we're going to save the automation. Also, don't forget to rename the automation. So let's call it Google Maps Scraper. And let's also put AI agent here. Awesome. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the AI agent node. So in order to do that, just click on the plus icon, go to AI and then select AI agent. Now, since we don't have any input data, we will have to write a message in the chat. So we have some sort of an input to work with. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this connection and I'm going to open the chat and I'm going to put some input. So let's just put hi. Okay, so we've got the input now. Let me hide it and let me connect the two. Okay, so they're connected. Now if you see here, we have an input, which is hi. Now for the user message, what we're going to do is we're going to select define below because we actually want to define the user message. So obviously the first thing is going to be user's input, and that is going to be whatever the user has typed in the chat. So for example, in this particular chat, I had written dental clinics. So in that case, this will be easily replaced by dental clinics, and then I wrote something else, then that would be replaced. Basically, it's a variable. Whatever you type in the chat will show here. Now that's just a user message. We also want to add a system message wherein we're going to actually tell it what it's supposed to do and how it is supposed to do. Now, if you click outside this AI agent, you will see that you need to actually connect a chat model. So chat model is basically an LLM model, basically the brain for your AI agent. So if you click here, you will see all of these different options. You can connect it to OpenAI, you can connect it to Gemini, you can connect it to Claude, DeepSeek, or any other. I'm just going to go with OpenAI for now. After that, it's going to ask you to connect your OpenAI account to it. Now, this is the API account and this is different from ChatGPT. So all you have to do is you have to search in a new tab for OpenAI, then click on login and select API platform. After that, if you have an account, just log in with that. If you don't have an account, create it there. As I said, this is different from ChatGPT. So if you have an account on ChatGPT, that doesn't mean that you already have an account here. You will have to create a new account. Okay, once you have created the account, just head over to settings and then head over to API keys. Then click on create new key, give your key a name, maybe you can call it anything, and then just select a project. You can select default and click on create. It's then going to give you a secret key, which is your API key. You will come back to n8n, you will click on create new credential and you will paste it here. Once you do that, just save it and now it is connected to your OpenAI account. Now, obviously, it's not free. You do need to pay for it. So just head over to billings here. And here, if you have $0, then click on add to credit balance and add about $5. $5 should be more than enough for this AI agent and for the upcoming AI agents that you might create. Once you have some credit balance here, you're good to go. Now, for the model, I'm just going to go with GPT-4o. Not very impressed with GPT-5 yet, so I'm just going to go with that and I'm going to save it. Okay, so the chat model has been connected. Now our AI agent has a brain. The next thing we have to do is connect memory to it. Basically, give it memory. Since it is a chat agent, we don't want it to forget what we had written previously. So all we are going to do is we're going to click on this plus like icon. Now we have a lot of options here and we're going to go with simple memory for this one. You don't have to change anything here, but for the context window length, you have to basically tell it how many past messages should it remember. So I think instead of 5, you should put 10 because otherwise it will start forgetting. So 10 is a good number and now we can save it. Now let's go back to our AI agent. So we had already specified a user message. Now we need to specify the system message. Now, as I said, in the system message, we need to tell it what it's supposed to do and how it is supposed to do it. Now, the flow for the system message is going to be that we first want the AI agent to collect what the user wants to scrape. Basically, dental clinics or restaurants or hotels or what do they want to scrape. After that, the place. So, do they want to scrape it for New York or do they want to scrape it for Bangalore? So, that's the next thing. And lastly, how many do they want to scrape? Do they want to scrape 500 or just 5? Lastly, we want to understand if they want to apply any optional filters. And once we get all of that information, we have to call the tool which is going to scrape Google Maps. And the platform that we're going to use for this scraping is going to be Apify. So Apify basically provides us with these scrapers using which you can scrape social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, or you can scrape websites, you can scrape Google Maps, Amazon, and they have a ton of these scrapers. We can connect it to our AI agents and scrape without having to code. because otherwise you will have to write a code script in order to scrape these platforms. But in this case, all we're going to do is we're going to connect the Google Maps scraper to our AI agent. Now you can get started for free with them. All you have to do is use the link in the description below and create an account. That is going to get you $5 worth of credits, which is again going to be more than enough for you to build and test this AI agent. If we talk about this AI agent's pricing, it's going to cost you just $4 to scrape 1,000 places. Just see how cost effective it is. And yes, when you choose to upgrade, you can use the coupon code 25Yashica to get a flat 25% discount on their plan. And this coupon code is going to be valid for the next 3 months. This video is not sponsored by them, but if you use the link in the description, I'm going to get some commission out of it. So once you've created the account, just go to the console and then head over to the Apify store. Now right there you will find the Google Maps scraper because it's just so popular, as you can see. After that, click on it and just click on Save and Start. But yes, still confirm that this is the Google Maps scraper by Compass Crawler Google Places. If you want, I will put the link to this actor as well in the description. They basically call these scrapers as actors. Now, in order to use this, you will have to click on this green button so that it saves it to your account. So just click on it. Let it do its job. Once its job is completed, it will be listed under actors, which means now you can use it. Now let's head back to our n8n automation. And yes, continuing from where we left off, so after it has scraped Google Maps using Apify, it's going to take all the results and it's going to create a spreadsheet out of it so that you can easily view the results. Let's say you're scraping 100 places or let's say 200 places. Then if it puts it in the chat, it's going to be very difficult for you to, use that data or even, save it for later. So that's why we're going to use Google Sheets and we're going to create a spreadsheet there so that you can access it at any given point in time. And then as we saw earlier, it's just going to give you the link to the Google Sheet and you can use it. Okay, so now based on the entire flow that I've told you, let's go ahead and write the system message. So I'm just going to choose expression and I'm going to open this window so that it's easier to see. Now, in order to save your time as well as mine, I have already written the system prompt and here is the system prompt in front of you. Now, you can grab this system prompt for free. It's going to be available in the resources. So, everything I use in this video, any links, anything that you will have to copy paste will be available in the resources. Just look for it in the description down below and you can access it for free. So, let me take you through the system prompt, but basically what is written here is exactly what I told you just now. So firstly, we are telling it that you have to take these inputs from the user and then, ask them if they want to give any optional filters, etc. After that, just validate if anything is missing, ask for it. And once all of it is collected, it will have to generate a JSON payload, which it's going to send to Apify to basically start the scraping process. So did you not get it? Let me explain it to you. So let's go back to actors and our Google Maps scraper. Now we're under the inputs section. And if you scroll down, you will see that it needs all of these inputs to basically scrape, which is what do you want to scrape, what's the location, what's the number, and a few add-ons. Now, if you do it manually, you can just fill out the form and then just click on scrape. But if you're doing it in an automated manner, we have to basically pass it in the form of JSON. So if you click here, you will be able to see the JSON. Now, this is not code exactly, but it's the language that this scraper easily understands. Now, obviously, you and I won't sit and write this JSON, right? So that's why I'm asking my AI agent to, take all the inputs and convert it into a JSON payload, which we're going to send to Apify. So if I take you back to the chat, we can see that after we had given it all the inputs, it had confirmed the JSON. And this is the exact JSON that goes to Apify. After that, if the user wants to make any changes, they can. If not, then this generated JSON is passed to the tool, which basically scrapes the data and creates the spreadsheet. We're going to set that tool up just in a moment. And after that, once the tool has done its job, it's going to return the Google Sheets ID. And then you have to just, give the link to the spreadsheet, which the user can click on, which is this one. And that's it. Your job is done. Then we're giving it some more instructions about the tone, the available tool. Now, this might be something new to you. So, this is basically the reference or the parameter definitions and keynotes. So, if we go back to the scraper and we scroll up and we go to manual right here, you will be able to see that there are a ton of add-ons that one can specify. For example, that only reviews which are, let's say, 3.5 and above should be taken. And basically they have a ton of filters, right, that one can specify while doing the search. And we're telling the exact same thing to the AI agent as well, that you can use all of these different filters in your JSON, in your search, to filter down the search. For example, here we have mentioned about the reviews and similarly all the other things that were mentioned on the scraper. Lastly, we are calling off or ending the prompt with some warnings and some practical tips. I think this is a very, very crucial step that we need to tell it what all it can, pass as a part of the JSON, so that while you're chatting, you can also tell it that, I would like to have the dental clinics that have websites, their ratings should be 3.5 and above, etc., etc. Okay, so let's come out of the AI agent and save it. So the prompting part is sorted, and now we have to create the tool which is going to basically scrape the data and create the spreadsheet. Now, before we go ahead and set up the Apify and Google Sheets integration, I want you to head over to the admin panel. Before that, make sure your automation is saved and then head over to the admin panel. After that, head over to manage and scroll down. Here you will see the n8n version, just click on it. Now, out of all the options you're getting, just make sure to select the one that says latest stable. So I am on 1.110.1 right now, but yours could be anything in the future. Just select the one which is latest stable. And after that, turn on this particular button that says verified community nodes. Turn it on. If you don't turn it on, then you will not see the Apify node in your n8n and you won't be able to do the integration directly. So that's why turn it on and then click on Save Changes. After that, it's going to restart your workspace. It's going to take about 2 minutes. And once you're ready, you can go back to the workspace, basically the dashboard, and you can click on Open. And then head back to the automation you were creating. After that, you will have access to Apify's native node, which you can use directly here. Now, at this point, we have two options. Either we connect Apify directly to the AI agent and the Google Sheet tool as well directly to the AI agent. But the reason why we won't go with that is because in that case, it becomes difficult to create a lot of rows inside Google Sheets together. So you are telling it to, generate 5 rows and it might just end up generating 2. So that's why we're not going to go with that approach. What we're going to do instead is we're going to design a small automation here with these nodes, and we're going to connect that automation to the AI agent so that all the rows get populated nicely. So here for the tool, we're going to click on plus and we're just going to select call n8n workflow tool, which is basically going to allow you to call this other automation that we're going to design just in a moment. And we're going to call this scrape data. So in our prompt, we had mentioned the name scrape data for the tool. We're going to use the same name here. If you want to change the name, then go to your prompt and change it here as well. So right now it's scrape data tool. And let's save it. Now we haven't set it up completely, so let's click on it. Now we need to give it a description that when you should call this tool and what should be the inputs. So let's say call this tool to scrape Google Maps and generate a spreadsheet using the results. The input is going to be the JSON payload, which it's already generating. Okay. Now we have to select the automation that it is going to actually call. Now, in order to do that, we have to first set up the automation. So let's save it. Now we're going to create that automation inside this workflow only. We're not going to create a separate workflow. So we're going to click on plus and we're going to search for the trigger that says execute sub workflow. And we're going to select the trigger. Please don't select the action. Please select the trigger. After that, click on add field. So what is the input that you would receive from the AI agent? So it's going to be the JSON string or maybe the JSON payload. And let the type be string, that's fine. And we're going to click on execute. Let's go to schema. Right now the value is null, but when we run the AI agent, it's going to get some sort of a value. So let's click on save. Now we can continue creating the rest of the automation, which is connecting to Apify, Google Sheets, and stuff like that. In our main tool as well, let's go ahead and select the automation we have created. So I'm going to search for Google Maps Scraper, the AI agent. And as you can see, it automatically listed the inputs which are needed for that automation, which is the JSON payload. How did it come? We had basically specified it here that we need the JSON payload to, use later in the automation. And that's why it came automatically in here. So since this comes from the AI agent, we're going to click on this magic button, which is going to make the AI agent fill it out each time. There's no need to add any description. We're just going to save it. So the AI agent part is done. We have set it up completely. Now we just need to set up the Apify and Google Sheets integration, which is remaining. So I want you to head over to your Google Sheets account and I want you to create a new Google Sheet. Now you can give it a name that, let's say, template for scraped data. So we're basically going to create a template with all the column names, etc. so that every time the AI agent has to create a spreadsheet, it can duplicate this template and put the results. So I already have the heading names. I'm just going to copy paste it here. And for you, what I'm going to do is either I'm going to download it as a CSV and I will put it in the resources so that you can import the template, or I might also share it with you. Just depends on me. So if it's importing, then you can just click on import and then just select the file which I have shared with you in the resources. Or if it's the link, you can just click on the link and then make a copy of it. And then you will have this right in front of you. Now we can go back to our automation. And here we are going to search for Google Drive. And then we're going to select copy a file. So as you know, Google Sheets is already a part of Google Drive. So it's, taken as a file inside Google Drive. And if I use this particular node, then every time this automation runs, there's going to be a duplicated version of the template, which is exactly what we want. Okay, so let's go ahead and configure and set up this node. So firstly, connect your Google Drive account. After that, we have to select the file which we want to copy. So the name was template scrape data. I'm just going to select it. So once you have it inside your Google Sheets account, you will also see it here. And then we need to give it a file name. So every time it copies, it can call it scraped data. And copy in the same folder, that's fine. Let's click on execute. Okay, so that's a success. Let's go to the next node. Okay, the next node is going to be Apify. So just search for Apify, select Apify, and then select run an actor and get dataset. Don't select the first one or else you won't get the results. So we're going to select the second one. Then it's going to ask you to connect your Apify account. So just click on create. After that, I think you should just go with API key. I think it's easier. Just go back to your Apify account. Then head over to settings, API, and then copy this, the token, and go back and paste it here. Click on save. Your Apify account will be connected. Then we have to select the actor which we are going to run. Is it the LinkedIn scraper, the Instagram scraper, or the Google Maps scraper? So it's the Google Maps one. So let's click on this. If you're not seeing this in the list, please make sure to save that actor. So for that, you will have to go to the Apify store, then this, and then click on this green button. Okay, so once that is done, you have to input the JSON. So the JSON is going to come from the AI agent, which is this one. So I'm just going to drag and drop this. Right now the value is null, but then later on it will be, replaced with the actual JSON. Come out of it and let's click on save. The next node is going to be Google Sheets, wherein we're going to add the results we have just now received. So just search for Google Sheets, scroll down and select append row in sheet. Again, connect your Google Sheets account. Then we need to select the document, but we don't have any input data. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to run this once so that we get data from Apify so that we can create the rest of the automation. So I'm just going to delete this connection and I'm going to save it. So in order to run it, I'm going to click on open chat. Then I'm going to say hi. Okay, so it's asking me what would you like to search for. So let's just go with restaurants. Doesn't matter. We're just testing. Okay, next up, the location. Let's go with New York, USA. Next, it's asking how many results. So let me just go with 3 because why do waste credits on testing? And then any filters? No. JSON. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now it's calling the tool. Okay, so it returned the result, but obviously this is not going to work because we haven't set up Google Sheets yet. It just made up the URL. So never mind, we are going to click on hide chat and then we're going to go to executions. Then we're going to select the latest run and there you will see our small automation running. And then we'll click on Apify. Okay, so we've got the results as you can see. We have 3 restaurants. Okay. After that, we're going to click on copy to editor so that we get all of this in our main editor. And now we can finally connect it to Google Sheets. We can come back here. And as you can see, we have the input now. So in order to get the input, we had done the test. Okay, now we have to specify the document where it has to add the rows. So if you remember, we had a Google Drive node which was copy file and we had the ID there. So I'm just going to select by ID and I'm going to put this ID here. Okay, so this is the document where it has to add the rows. Then for the sheet, it's just going to be by name and it's sheet 1. After that, it's going to show you all of these. And now comes the manual part. You will have to drag and drop all of these one by one. I know it's a bit of a pain, but we'll have to do it. You have to do it once and then later on it's going to, auto map it. So let's do it. Okay, so I have completed the mapping. Now, obviously, a few columns can be extra or they can be less, depends on your scraping. So what you can do is you can edit your Google Sheets accordingly. So if any column is missing, you can add it there. And if any is extra, you can delete it there and also delete it here if needed. Okay, so that depends on what you're trying to scrape because for restaurants, it's different and for the other ones, it's different. So once that's done, just click on save. And yes, don't forget to execute it. I had already executed. So just click on this orange button. Lastly, I'm just going to put a set module here. So I basically want to, set the final ID of the file, which is coming from Google Drive, so that the AI agent can easily access it because it's the last node. Okay, so let's save it. Okay, now our automation is complete. Okay, so before finalizing the entire automation, let's go ahead and test it once. So let's click on open chat and let's start. Okay, so this time I'm thinking for scraping dermatologists in the city. So let's go with that. Okay, let's go with that. Location. This time let's put Paris, France. Okay. Okay, so let's search for 15 of these. Yeah, this time I want to put rating filters. So minimum rating of 3.5 is required. Now it should give us the JSON. There you go. Okay, looks good. And now it should scrape. Okay, so it's running. Okay, so this was successful. And there you go. We have the Google Sheet. Let's click on it. Okay. Okay, so we have a total of 16 rows, which means 15 results. Okay. So we have the address, we have the phone number, some more details, how many reviews they've got, opening hours, like you can open it up if you want to see. And you know what, let me go to some of these URLs and check if they have a rating of 3.5 or not. So let's go to reviews, 4.7, okay, 4.3, 4.9. Yeah, so the filter is working and it's also based on rank, okay? So based on how they rank on Google Maps, it's showing it here. Oh, actually it gives the reviews here. I think I overlooked it. So The first one has 4.5, 4.8, 4.8, 4.7. So basically all of them are above 3.5, which means that our filter worked great. And you have the phone number and the address. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and finalize the automation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to chat. We're going to turn this on so that you are able to access it outside of n8n as well. So now this is your URL where you will be able to access this. Let me change the initial messages. So the first one should be hide there and the second one should be what are we scraping today. Okay, now you have more options about what you want to change, but I'm just gonna go with this. If you also want to even change the title is fine, maybe subtitle. I'm here to help you scrape Google Maps. It's up to you, whatever you want to keep. I'm just going to copy this URL and I'm going to save the automation and I'm going to turn it on. Awesome. Now let me go to a new tab and let me paste the link. Okay, hi there. I'm here to help you scrape Google Maps. Hi there, what are we scraping today? Let's do a final test. So what do we want to scrape right now? I have no ideas. Let's go with coffee shops. You can scrape anything which is available on Google Maps, basically. Okay, city and country. Let's go with New York, USA. By the way, all my responses are coming here just in case you're thinking. Okay, how many results? Let's do 13 results. Okay, anything you want to filter based on? So I don't think we need to do it because we've already tested regarding the reviews, etc. Okay, looks good. Okay, so here's the final Google Sheet. Let's click on it. And there we go. We have 13 results. So this time we have the price as well. We have the address, the phone number, the reviews, the links, and everything. Awesome. So that's how we created this very, very powerful AI agent. Okay, so that's it. I hope you found this video extremely valuable. Do let me know what you think about the video in the comments below. Yes, don't forget to use the link to Apify in the description and the coupon code 25 Yashica to get a 25% off. If you're interested in similar AI agent solutions for your business, then don't forget to check out the link to my website, which is there in the description. You'll find the link to the prompt, any other links which I've used in the resources, which will be there in the description. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If there's anything else you want me to cover, do let me know. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.